After 3 months of using the MacBook Pro 13-inch 2020 version, here's my review from a developer perspective. And by the way, my name's Autumn and I talk about tech. Now for the specs of the machine. We have 32GB of DDR4 RAM, we have a Core i5 quad-core 10th generation, and for reference that is the i5 1038NG7, and we have 1TB of NVMe SSD with 2500MB of write and read speeds, plus 1.5GB internal graphic card unit, which is the Intel Iris graphics, plus 4 Thunderbolt 3 inputs that has the full 16 lanes allocated to them. The price of the machine is $2,400 US, and using the student discount you will get it for $2,259, which that would leave you around $141 discount, plus you can get AirPods for free at the time of recording this video if you purchase it from the Apple Store, since they have the back to school promotion going on. Now, how does this machine do when it comes to general tasks? It does just fine. You really don't have to worry about it and you'll be happy with it. There is nothing that you should worry about on that front. But how about coding? Well, for me, or in my case, I do use Xcode and Swift, aka iOS development, and sometimes I make websites using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I am averaging around 21GB of RAM usage at all time. When I have around 10 tabs open of Safari, I do not use Google Chrome, and I have a project that is open which have 300 to 500 lines of code, and sometimes if I am feeling ambitious from 1000 to 2000 lines of code. And it works well for the most part without any issues, but I am struggling with one thing, which is the thermal heat management when it comes to the CPU. Let me dive deep into that. Usually I have a virtual machine running and I have 3 simulators running as well. iPad, 2 phones, one of the smaller ones, one of the bigger ones, to see that my app is running on everything without any issues, and that do put constraints and pressure on the CPU. What's happening is, it's not like the CPU is not able to do everything. It's able to do it, but the thermals are just really high. My laptop gets really hot to the touch. So to fix this issue, what I did, I downloaded an app called Mac Fan Control, and I ramped up the fans to 100% at all times, and that did help with the performance a lot. Plus, I even brought a fan pad and I did put my laptop on top of it, and those fans always cooling down the laptop, which that definitely did help with the performance and increase it a lot as well. And then the laptop is not overheating at that point. Yet I want to be clear about something. To have such a scenario, you need to be connected to an external monitor. So the issues that I am having because I am connected to an external monitor, and that external monitor I am using the full 4K resolution for it because I want as much as I can from screen real estate. That's why I am getting those issues. If you are using the laptop only by itself, you will not have any issues. All what you need to do is just download Mac Fan Control, get it to 100%, and then you will be good. Because if you are using the laptop, let's say on your lap, it might get a little bit warm to the touch, and that might be annoying, but if you have the fans running, you will be doing just fine. But if you are connected to an external monitor, you will be having the issues that I am having, especially if you have, let's say, 2 monitors, or maybe you have the monitor from the laptop and then the external monitor as well. And even what I noticed, when I put the laptop into clamshell mode and then it connected to an external monitor, that does help with the performance. Plus, what I do usually is have the fans at 100% or put it on the fan pad and then have the fans running in order to cool down the laptop, and I will not have any issues, and I will not feel like my laptop is sluggish or Xcode is sluggish or whatever that might be. As for the fan pad, I will leave a link to it in the description. If you want to purchase that, just use that link. And before I end this, I want to talk a little bit about Xcode projects. Let's say I have the project and then I want to run it for the first time. It would take 1 minute and 50 seconds to build for the first time, and then after that if I don't, let's say, clean the project, it would really run almost with a second. Like, I don't even notice how much time it would take. So you should not worry about running your project. Just when you build it the first time, it might take a little bit of time, but aside from that, you will be completely fine. And that brings me to a couple more points that I would like to touch on: the Thunderbolt 3 lanes, and then the i7 CPU for this machine. The i7 CPU would give you a boost around 10%, and it's not worth it because of the thermal constraints, plus the price is not really worth it as well. When it comes to Thunderbolt 3 lanes, they have the full speed, which means if you are planning to connect an external GPU or an external hard drive or RAID hard drive system or an external monitor or whatever that might be, you will be having the full power of those lanes, not like the old versions of the 13-inch MacBook Pro, which that was an issue for me. I will be talking more about the lanes and the i7 processor and the i5 processor in 2 separate videos in the future, so if you want to see that, you definitely know what to do. And aside from that, thank you for watching and bye.